Miss Bovis, what is up with all the vectors in number 2? Let me show you. So, I know it's a little complicated, but you've got a cart. And you've got two farmers that are pulling on it. They're both generally pulling it northways, but this one's kind of going to the east and this one's kind of going to the west. Now, this guy, he's all being an overachiever and he's really tugging. He's got 50 newtons of force that he's pulling with off towards this northeast direction. This guy's not pulling as hard and he doesn't have as big of an angle. I'm a little worried that we're going to wind up not going straight north. We're going to be a little bit off like this. But we can't be 100% positive until we add up the vectors. In order to do that, we're going to have to split these into their x and y components. Now, you might be tempted to draw those like these. You might want to do that. Well, I'm going to recommend not drawing them here because technically we know that this angle is 25, so that'll work. But you can also draw them like this. So we know that right here, this is my y value, and then right here, this is my other y value. So I've got my two y values here. My y for the 50 newtons, I'm going to call that y1, and then I've also got my y for the 30 newtons, that's y2. So you're going to have to break both of these vectors individually up into their x and y components respectively. Across the top here, this is going to be my x2, and this big one is going to be my x1. Now, what do you guys notice about x2? What direction is it going in? What quadrant is it in? It's in quadrant 2. So does that mean that this is going to be a positive value or a negative value? This vector is in quadrant 1. Is this going to be a positive value or a negative value? So my y values, they're both going the same direction. So their magnitude's going to be pretty big. It's going to add together. Neither of those are going to be negative, right? Nothing's pulling in the south. So you're going to find the resultant vector after you add up the sum of your x and the sum of your y. Then I think it would behoove you to regraph that. And I think that we're probably going to get, I'm not going to show you the final answer, but I think that we can all expect to get something in the first quadrant, probably going off at a pretty small angle and mostly to the north. Probably something there. And you're going to plot that by plotting the sum of your x values and the sum of your y values on here. So this is x, and then this is y. See, making the square, and then we're going to find our resultant vector. And then, yes, you do have to find this angle. Or you can find the little angle, but you've got to tell me that it is east of north in your final answer in order to make it correct. Otherwise, if you just give me this little angle, I'm going to think it's somewhere down here. And I'm going to be like, oh, we're mostly pulling to the east. But that's not the case. We should be able to predict, based on the free body diagram that we did up front, that that's probably not the case. That's all I'm giving you on this one. Good luck.